Hit the like button when you come in. This is kind of an impromptu live. You guys gotta work with my old ass. I wanted to StreamYard. I'm still trying to figure some things out. Let me see if the comment says disabled. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. As you come in, hit the like button. Let me see. Just doing an impromptu live, everybody. It's nothing nothing strenuous or whatever. Trying to see if I can. Okay. So I got the chat going. Okay. Okay. Alright, KB. It's been a while since I did a live stream, everybody. Alright. Psychotic 5. Shout out to you. First off, I just want to say I appreciate everybody that rocks with TheAlertZoneTV. It's been a week or so since I really posted. If you guys know, in the Midwest, we've been going through it up here. It is beyond freezing up here. It is really, really, really cold. I'm up here in Iowa. We on location. I'm up here in Mount Pleasant right now. It's snowing right now. But nevertheless, hit the like button as you come in. Definitely. I just wanted to do an impromptu live. I'm trying to get me a... no. Am I ever in Wilmington? I come through there once in a while, man. It's been a while since I've been to Wilmington. The last time I came down there, I was in Black Mountain over there in North Carolina. I see y'all got that storm coming. It's up here in the Midwest right now. I'm thinking Wednesday and Thursday is supposed to be pretty bad over there. I know Wilmington and Norfolk up and down that coastline, they talking anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of snow over there. Man, I just wanted to say, it's been so cold. You know I'm gonna be outside. It's been really, really cold the last 2 weeks or so. I mean, it's been like basically every day it's been below zero. It won't get to above zero until like probably Friday night or Saturday morning up here. So we got another week of really, really, really cold temperatures. And it's been hard for me to really get outside and shoot like I want. You guys know at the range that I shoot at, there's no heat in the basement. I wanted to go outside and shoot, but it's been in car. Am I Jay-Z? I'm JW. I'm JW. With that being said, I was gonna record, so I might as well just live stream. I want to say shout out to GunTube. When I say GunTube, I don't just mean the content creators. I mean the people that view the material. Shout out to all of y'all. Whether it's this channel or another channel that y'all rock with or what have you. You guys and girls don't really, really understand how much we appreciate y'all. We've got... What's going on, Ronnie? Oh, man, I'm up here trying to stay warm, man. We try in GunTube to give y'all the best content. And we must be doing something right because so many of us are shadow banned, or, you know, we got to jump through a lot of different hoops. We not really recommended. Man, I'm just glad that we have an audience and that we have just people, man, that really follow these channels. Shout out to the content creators. Ever been out here in Seattle, Washington, I have a plant. You know what? Since we freestyling, let me just go ahead on and interact with y'all, because I think I'm gonna start. Well, I'm going to do more freestyles. I'm a dinosaur. I was trying to learn how to work my StreamYard account. I promise y'all I'm gonna get that fixed this weekend, so I can bring people up. But we're gonna do interviews. I've reached out to a couple channels and they say they're gonna come on here, and I appreciate that. Now, as far as Seattle, Washington, the 48 continental states, the only 2 states I've never been to is Idaho and Washington. I've been to the other 46 continental. I've been to Canada and I've been to Mexico. I've just never been to Washington State for whatever reason. Maybe in the summertime, I might actually get me a load and take me a trip up there to come and check it out. I hear a lot about Seattle. I have a former co-worker that went back up there, and he talked about how much he loves Seattle. But yeah, Seattle and the state of Idaho is the 2 places I've never been in America. I've been to every other state, and I don't mean through them. I mean to them, and out and walked around and sightseeing and things like that, you know. So coming west this time of year right now, no. Have I ever been to Tilted Flowers? I'm not sure where that is. Tilted Flowers, you have to let me know. It's maybe I've been through that and I'm just not sure. Like, some places I've been to and I have a pretty good memory. Some of these places I may not remember the streets that I was on, but I remember the scenery. Like Miami. Miami was a place that was very confusing for me because of the way you got the northwest, southwest. You're on one street and it turned this way and it's a totally different street, and I just got lost, man. I know I've been to Hialeah, Medley. Shout out to you, Jason. Hialeah, Medley, Miami Gardens, actual Miami, Little Havana, Little Haiti, the swamp. I mean, I've been all over. So shout out to you, Dexter. Shout out to you, Jason. It's good, man. I just decided to do this impromptu live stream. I was going to film, then I said I wanted to do StreamYard. I'm still kind of getting some logistics worked out, so I just decided, you know what? What's going on, Dr. T? Shout out to you. So I just decided that I was just going to go ahead on and do a live, since I haven't done a live in so long. Oh, before I go any further, shout out to my brother Eyes and Ears Tactical. You know, usually on the live stream, we do the incense and common sense, and you guys will see on the community tab, which start watching the community tab more, because you'll see me doing more posting on there. But usually I'll post a picture of me with an incense in my hand, and I'll say, you know, at this time, today or tonight or tomorrow, whatever, we're going to do a live stream. This one was kind of impromptu. You know, in the live streams, we call them the incinerator. You know, I always like the traditional incense and what have you. But he got me a really cool incense burner, a type I've never seen. And he suggested that I do the live streams with it. I don't have it with me, it's at the house. So shout out to Eyes and Ears Tactical. And if you've never been on his channel, go and check that brother out. I love his channel, man. We've been talking since before I had a YouTube channel, and back when he had probably like 2 or 3 people that was subbed to his channel. So shout out to Eyes and Ears Tactical. And once again, shout out to everybody that's here live or that might see the replay. Definitely. But yeah, I've been all over the country. When I was younger, I was a little bit more wilder and a little bit more curious about being in places I had no business. Like New York City. For people who've never been to New York City, the only city in New York that has escaped me is I'll answer that question in a minute. Harlem is the only city I want to see in New York that has escaped me. As far as collections in my firearms, I know it's 20 plus. I'm approaching 30, I believe. I know it's quite a few. As far as my firearm collection. But New York, the Throsneck projects, you go over the Throsneck Bridge out of the Cross Bronx, and you take the Throsneck Bridge, the projects down at the bottom. I remember one day I parked around there and I just went and got out and walked. Okay, one of these days, I don't usually do bucket lists, but I'm going to have, Harlem is on my list of places that I will get to. But the projects in New York City, the Bronx market, the Brooklyn market, all them neighborhoods around there, Queens, Brooklyn, Long Island, out on the Long Island Expressway, when you go from, Nassau to Suffolk County? I believe it's Nassau County first and then Suffolk as you go further east out on the 495, and you go from having a pickup truck, a Blazer pass you, and the further east you go, the next thing you know, a Ferrari will come on by you, then a Lamborghini might come on by you, then a Rolls Royce. So you're heading towards the Hamptons, where all them high-end mansions are out there. You ever thought about doing a 20-part series of each firearm and explaining why you... You know what? That's a good idea. Yeah, you know what? I like that idea. Let me, so you know I'm really rocking with you. Let me make a notation of that on my old school trusty notepad. You know I told you guys and girls that I usually have my notepad with me, and this helps keep the channel, when I get an idea, what have you, I write it down, so that way when I get ready to film, I can revert to my notes. You know I'm old school. I know this is analog and y'all used to digital, but hey, this is what works for all. So one of these days, when I leave this planet, be something I can leave behind, you know what I'm saying? One second. Alright, so I'm gonna name it my gun collection series, likes and dislikes, and we'll do 1, 2, so on and so forth. I'll just grab a random firearm and tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, whether it was an impulse buy or whether it was something that I was actually in the market for. So shout out for that idea, man. This is why I love doing live streams, even though, shame on me, I've been lazy about doing them. The interaction is real, and I love the interaction, you know. That's why I always say hit me in the comment section. When you guys and girls get a response, it's not a computer. You get a response from me personally. I take my time out to try and read everybody's comments. I may not always catch them right then and there. Sometimes I'm driving, you guys leave really good comments, and I have to wait till I get parked where I can really re-engage. But definitely that'll be a good thing to do. But back to what I was saying, I saw some stories and some things that I think we just need to talk about so we can all be on the same page as far as protecting ourselves. So there was a Chilean national that was arrested and for a home invasion and what have you. But it was what they found in his backpack that got my antennas up. You know, I'll be cruising these YouTube streets, and he had a jammer in his backpack, but it wasn't the typical Wi-Fi jammer. This particular jammer was set to jam law enforcement. When he activated this jammer, the officers couldn't talk to each other on the radio. it sent like a jamming signal to their cars where their cars was locked and they couldn't get into them. I mean, it was very, very upscale what he had as far as like committing crimes. Tell us the Cash App. I know they ain't the only supporter. Okay, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna try to figure this out. I'll probably post it on the community tab, the Cash App. So anybody that want to donate, you guys gonna see an evolution of this channel. Now let's get one thing straight. I'm not gonna change the vision of it in the sense of I like this old school look, because everybody who know me off camera know I'm an old-fashioned dude and I can't let the past go. I'm not one of those people that criticizes the present and the future. I just can't let the past go, because I always remember you got that right about people coming here not to play. But I like to give this old VHS style content because it gives the young people a look into what the past was like. You know what I'm saying? And then I can keep it going. So yeah, I film on my tablet most of the time. Usually I do my shorts on the phone. That's why you can kind of tell the difference sometimes, but I'm not gonna change that. But we are gonna be doing interviews. Once I really get good with StreamYard, I'll have it where you guys and girls, if y'all want to come on, even if you don't want your face to be seen, that's fine. So we can just talk with each other, because I don't know everything. We got people around the country and around the world, and at the end of the day, you know more about where you live than I do. Man, a shout out to you, man. Shout out to you for watching me every day, man. You know what? I try and give the best content I can, and I try and do it from a place of a guy that's lived a lot and experienced a lot, and talked to people from around the world. And I've been across the country. I mean, like, to places, Zion Hill, Pennsylvania. Most people in Pennsylvania never heard of Zion Hill because it's not even on the map. The only thing in the town was a damn toy manufacturer up the hill. I went to pick up a load of skates. I've been out in Appalachia. The hills have eyes. The old wrestler Hillbilly Jim. I've seen guys that look like that right now as we speaking out in West Virginia. I've been down to Florida. Shout out to Yoki. She did a live stream a couple weeks ago, whatever, and I jumped in and I told her about Miami. And I'll tell this story here. The first time I went to Miami, I was thinking of Miami Vice. Me being a New Orleanian, I was expecting to see beaches, bikinis, and high-end cars. When I got off the interstate, I seen homeless encampments. I said, what the fuck is this? This is not what I saw on TV. I got to see the other side. When I went to West Palm Beach, I saw high-end cars on one side. Next thing I know, I seen them big, what they call them, kind of dreadlocks, the fat ones that's going everywhere and gold. I was like, what the hell? So, I've been to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I've seen guys dressed like the man on the Quaker Oats box. The Amish. I'll give you guys a story about the Amish. I was going through Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Highway 30, up there. I believe it was Highway 30. And I'm passing this furniture store. And this guy is standing out there. He's got this hat on. I live in the largest land port in the U.S. Okay. He's got this hat on. He's got his sleeves rolled up. He's got pants on. I see like this red Irish color beard almost. And he's got this flower thing, this water sprout, like he's pouring water in the flowers. And I said, is that guy real? That looks like a statue. Until I got close, it was an actual person. I had never seen anybody that pale. I was like, what the fuck is he? And I got up the road, and I didn't know a lot about Amish people at the time. And the only thing I knew about Amish, believe it or not, was this wrestler. The Angry Amish Warrior, Roadkill. I saw him on ECW way back in the day, so you know. So there was a little truck stop I went to. The best bowl of spaghetti and meatballs I ever had in my life came out of that little wood burning stove. Man, I've never had a bowl of spaghetti and meatballs like that. They used those wooden stoves, and as I'm sitting in there and I'm talking to the people, I started learning a little bit more about Amish life. You know what I'm saying? Texas, of course. Arizona, New Mexico, in Arizona across 40. The old Native American dwellings that you get to see in the canyons and stuff like that. California, Iowa. You know, just I've been all over, and I've talked to all kinds of people. Laredo. Yep, you right about that in Laredo. I remember. Let me tell you guys a story about Laredo. Laredo, Texas. You go down 35, and there was exit 4 you get off. Right before you get down there by the Golden Corral and all that, there used to be a truck stop back there, the old truck stop. Man, if you left your truck there, they bust your damn window and take all your shit out of there, or take your damn truck. Or if nobody didn't bust your damn window, you had them damn hoes knocking on your damn truck all night, you didn't go there to get no sleep. The Poly truck stop on the Uniroyal Exchange, exit 13, used to be the only truck stop down there, big one. You had to pay to stay there. Then they built that TA and Flying J, and the pilot stopped charging you. In 2023, when I was coming back from Mexico, we went in through Eagle Pass. We came back through Laredo. Between the Mexico and the Texas side, I couldn't tell the difference. All the Little Caesar, I'm not kidding. Nuevo Laredo, Mexico, literally looked like Laredo, Texas. And I was like, what the fuck? It looks totally different from when I first started going down there in 2003. So, you know, just a story about Laredo. Down there in Brownsville, you cross the bridge, I believe the name of that town is Las Flores. That was the first time I ever had the elotes, the corn in a cup with the mayonnaise and the tahini and the lemon. I had never had that before. I wasn't gonna eat it. A friend of mine had took me down there because he had a house in Raymondville. For all my people that's shout out to the valley, that live down in the valley. And he had his roosters and shit, and he was showing me how he fight roosters and what have you. And him and his family, they took me over there. And they was buying that, and I was like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna eat that fucking shit. I tried it, and it was good, man. Now, when I'm in Mexico, oh, anytime we go out to the plaza at night, I go get me you have me a couple of elotes. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Maine. I've been to the state of Maine. What's up, everyone? What's going on? You know what? I drove a truck. I started in 02. October 2002. I came off the road at the end of 2010 because the state of Georgia suspended my license for a ticket I never got. So I just picked up a couple trades. It took me a couple years of fighting to get this off my record. And then I came back out in 2021, and here I am. You know, so I had about an 8-9 year go at it. I had an 11-year break, and then I came back out, you know. So But oh yeah, tacos with cabbage. Yeah, I have it all. I have it all, man. The pozole that they make down there in Mexico, all that other kind of stuff, I've had it. Yeah, the tacos with the cabbage, the pupusas. Even though I know that's Salvadorian, the pupusas, they make that in the town I live in. There's one lady in particular that's a Salvadorian lady, boy. On the Saturdays when they have the jaripels, let me just go ahead on and be direct. For those of you who never been around Mexicans, they drink. I mean, they drink. You go out to the jaripel, they drink, they dance, they have fun. The next morning they get up, nobody want to cook breakfast. They just order a bunch of pupusas. She be up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning getting prepped up when they have a big concert. Like the town I live in, to my Mexicans out there, for people who follow Spanish music, Grupo Firme, when they really hit, came to town. And boy, there was so many drunk people out there. The next day, I went and ordered some pupusas from the pupusa lady. And it took me 2.5 hours before they was ready, because she had just that many orders. I mean, 3/4 of the goddamn town got up and just bought pupusas because everybody was too drunk and too tired to cook. So, just, what's been your craziest experience driving? Has it been the weather experience or a person? Wow, I've had quite a few experiences. I'll tell you guys a story that if you're not from upstate New York, you might not understand this. Or if you're not from somewhere like maybe Detroit, where they get snow by the feet and not by the inch. I was with Swift, 03. They had a massive snowstorm up there in upstate New York on the New York Thruway. It was so bad that they shut the Thruway down. We were stuck up there for 2 days. The truck drivers was giving out water and food. We was taking turns letting people get in our trucks to warm up and what have you. I sat on the New York Thruway for almost 2 days. Coming from Albany, headed towards western New York, up there, Poughkeepsie and over there, going back towards Pennsylvania on when the throughways, the 90 throughway up there. And man, it was so much doggone snow. I've seen snow in Maine in the summertime. And as far as crazy experiences, I'm gonna tell you guys the very first crazy experience I had driving a truck. So back in the day, Swift used to have this thing called 4x4. You did 4 weeks with a trainer, and then you did 4 weeks with somebody else. Another guy, girl that come out of school with you, what have you. And my partner was living in Memphis, but he was from Detroit. We was looking for North Bergen, New Jersey, this warehouse. Swift gave us directions to the old warehouse, so we got lost in this neighborhood. So he had this thing of, when it was his time to drive, he would always get tired, or he would always get lost, take these damn no truck routes. And if you've never been up in New York City and Jersey and all that, with a truck, you gotta really know where you're going, because it's very tight up there. And we go through this neighborhood because we lost, and there's a big sign, no truck route. He goes through it, and I tell him, hey man, don't go through here. So we get up this street. Now we see low bridge and low power lines. I tell him, we got to make a U-turn. Well, the way people park in New York and New Jersey, they park on the corners. So there was this one particular car that was in the way, so we couldn't get the truck and the trailer turned around, 53 footer. We got the street blocked up. For those of you who never been up there to that New York, New Jersey area, you don't know. When you driving a big truck, people will go up on the sidewalk to get around you when you're making a turn. When you turn, you got to turn real tight to the curb. If you leave enough room for a car to get in as you turn it, they'll get on the side of you, and if you don't look back, you've been rolled over the top of them. Well, we couldn't get this U-turn, so this cab driver pulls up, and we got the street blocked, and he's just honking. Nobody's in the car, thank goodness. He's just honking. So he finally gets out. He's like this, he's a Middle Eastern. I don't want to call it a particular country because I don't know what country, but he's an Arab. And he asks, what the fuck you guys got the street blocked for? And we like, well, we lost, we're trying to make a U-turn. He fucking opens the trunk of his car and he pulls an AK-47 out. I'm stone serious. And he's got this fucking gun pointed at us. We standing there, it's freezing cold in the middle of the night. It had to be like maybe in January or February. Had to be in January in Jersey. We standing in the middle of the street like this, and this fucking guy is telling me, give me a reason why I shouldn't blow y'all fucking head off. I should blow y'all fucking head off. Give me a reason. And we lost. And man, we had to talk this guy and calm him down. He got in his car and he made a U-turn and he left. We called 911. Police come out there and we explained to them what happened. So the car that's parked on the corner, this guy is in the window looking at us the whole time. We didn't know that. So he decides, the police go knock on his door, he's not going to answer. Well, the police get his license plate number and call, and he tells him come move his car. And he tells the police, I ain't moving shit. And the police says, okay. Turn it around, and we're going to tear his car. Do what I say do. As we getting close to about to rip his door off his car, he comes run down there and he moves it. We get out of that neighborhood, and that was the first craziest story that I've on my parents' grave, and I don't do this. That story happened to me, and boy, ever since then, for my St. Louis people, for those of you who never been to St. Louis, Anheuser-Busch is in Missouri. Now, you hear them talk about East St. Louis, that's in Illinois. We used to pick up beer in Anheuser-Busch. Well, at night, at night, guys sit around Anheuser-Busch because they know what you're coming out of there with. They know you got beer. So I'm going back to New Orleans with this load. So I pick up this load of Anheuser-Busch and I'm going to take it out to Kenner. And I go in, I get my trailer loaded, come out. Can't remember the name of the street, but I can take you straight to it, the Anheuser-Busch building. I make the left, I make the right to the street that takes you to Interstate 55. I get on the interstate. I'm noticing this particular car when I pull out of there behind me, but I don't think nothing of it. That's like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm riding down I get on the interstate. This car get on behind me. We go about 2 miles up the interstate. Shout out to you, Calvin. Much love, much love. And 3 more cars come on the interstate. I'm looking at the car behind me, but I haven't paid attention. Well, these guys, one didn't got on this side because I think it's like 3 or 4 lanes. So basically they got me blocked in. 2 cars on each side, one in the front and one in the back. The one in the front keeps hitting the brakes because what they're trying to do is force me to stop or pull me over so they can take what I have. And I'm screaming on the radio, I need another driver to help me. I need another driver to help me. I think these guys trying to hijack me. I think these guys trying to hijack me. And lo and behold, a bull hauler come through there. and he's hollering, "Where you at? Where you at? I'm in this Swift truck." And he comes through there, and he runs up on the back of one of the cars that's on the side of me. He flashes, and he lays that air horn on him, that train horn on him. And he follows me, and finally, they let me go. But for those of you who live in St. Louis, you know I'm not lying. You know about them guys jacking them damn trucks up there in New York. I've seen it, where they put a warehouse in the middle of the hood. You get to a stop sign, and a pickup truck back up to your truck. They jump up, they pop the lock, and they open the doors, and as you going forward, the pickup truck is backing up behind you, and this guy is throwing the shit off the back of your truck. I didn't see that shit. I used to hear about it, and I used to think it was a lie until I saw it. Them plasma TVs, when that became the thing, down there in Miami, the type of shit you had to go through to get one, it was like fucking having the clearance to go behind, to go in the war room at the damn Pentagon. You had to get fingerprinted. They had to run your ID, this, and that. You had to already have had your brake. You had to have a full tank of gas. They will put a panic button on your truck. When you left Miami, going up Interstate 95, you could not stop that truck until you got on the other side of Jacksonville. They would tell you, do not stop this truck for at least 350 miles, because these guys that hijack these trucks know what you have. Yeah. So, yeah, man, I've been through it. I've seen some wild things out here. Back in the days, when I first started, it was nothing for women to ride by and raise their shirts up. You don't see that now. But back in the days, you would see drivers with signs on the back of their trailer that say, "Show your Hooters." Or somebody would holler Hooters on the radio, and everybody be hollering like, "What's the 20 on them Hooters?" You know? I can't tell you how many times I've been flashed out here back in the days. They don't do all that now. But I got a chance to see the country, and wow. From Philly, Walt Whitman Bridge, there's an Ashland Chemical under that Walt Whitman Bridge I used to deliver at. And then I used to take the tomatoes over there off Broadway. Was that Broad Street, I mean? Down there by the stadiums. There's a little tomato plant right there that I used to take tomatoes to. So you have the Eagles, the Phillies, the Flyers, and the 76ers stadiums was all across the street from each other. And I used to walk that little area and what have you. Rhode Island, little old place. Maine. Seeing black people up there is like seeing fucking Sasquatch in Maine. Maryland. I didn't know until I started driving a truck that Maryland had an eastern shore. I went to Baltimore back in 03, back in them days when Baltimore. So I've been around, you know, Virginia Beach, the Chesapeake Bay. Man, that's beautiful. Especially when the weather is nice and warm and it's sunny, man, it's beautiful out there. The Bay Bridge over there in Annapolis, that take you to Annapolis, Maryland. Yeah, man, I've been, you know, I've been around the country. I've been to Canada twice over the Windsor Bridge. So I can't really say I've been around Canada like that. I've seen Niagara Falls. So, you know, there's a lot of places I didn't get to see, but there's a lot of places I got to see. Yep. So, yep. I've had a, yeah, that Chesapeake Bay Bridge is beautiful. DC, I've been all down through there. Just a lot of places, talk to a lot of people, and the one thing that I think about when I do the Second Amendment content that I do is I think about people from different backgrounds that I done met. Everybody ain't gonna agree on everything. Everybody welcome here because I've been around everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'll tell you guys another story. And me and a cousin of mine, younger cousin, had this conversation the other day. When I was in trucking school, I used to hear these jokes about West Virginia. Yeah, y'all know where I'm going with this. And I used to think it was bullshit until I actually went there. So, what kind of truck do I drive? Now I'm in a KW. I love the old Freightliners, them Cascadias. Now with the DEF and the the automatic transmissions, them pieces of shit always on the side of the road now. These automatic trucks ain't worth the fuck. But I got me a new office. You guys will be seeing it soon. A new mobile office. When I get rolling. No, I got that PACCAR engine in here. So one day, I loaded in West Virginia, in Wheeling. And I come on down, was it 70 to 79, Wheeling, West Virginia. And I go over to Charleston, me and another driver. And we stop at this Western Sizzling buffet. Usually I eat out of my truck. I don't eat much fast food. And we go in this Western Sizzling, and it's another driver, Swift at the time. He said, I'll pay for dinner. Come on, let's just stop with me. Because I told him, I don't really eat that stuff. So I stopped with him, and we went in this Western Sizzling. And man, they had a really good buffet. And as we sitting down, I'm just looking around, and I see a lot of people with Down syndrome. And I asked myself, well, fuck, they must have had a bus come here or something. So the waitress come by, and I asked her, I said, can I ask you a question without being offensive? And she said, what? I said, did they have a bus come in like a special needs people? And she started laughing. She said, no, these people live here. She said, you ain't heard about West Virginia? I said, heard what? About all the inbreds here. And I was like, I thought that was a joke. She said, no. And afterwards, I started going to some of these remote places, and I started seeing how people in West Virginia and how people in this country can live in a particular area and never see an outsider. And if you've never been to West Virginia, it is literally in the Appalachian Mountains. The state of West Virginia is literally nothing but a mountain. You get outside of Charleston, Bluefield, Wheeling, and one or two other places, and Virginia, literally, West Virginia is nothing but mountain. You get off them roads, goodness gracious. And I said, oh. And it was like, well, these people have needs, physical needs, but there's no outsiders. This is how you can have the mom and the son having children together. I was like, wow. So, that I've been to the Lake of the Ozarks, Hot Springs, and all that out there. But I think about everybody when I do this channel. I think about my personal life experiences. And I think about conversations I've had with people throughout the years of saying, like, if you ain't doing nothing wrong, why do you need a gun? And I try to explain to people, well, that's what criminals want to hear. Because criminals don't go and bother people that's doing something wrong. They go and bother soft targets. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I think about booking people for a fight. To all my young people out here, because you guys and girls know I love the young folks here at TheAlertZoneTV, and don't let your parents book you for a fight. Don't let your parents book you to possibly lose your life or your freedom. There was a story in Memphis. Shout out to Memphis. Oh, I'll give you guys a couple stories about Memphis. Let me tell you guys this and then. So, a man and a woman got into an argument about something. The guy was leaving. They was a domestic couple. And she got angry and told her son to shoot this guy, and her son shot this guy. And now they both in jail for attempted second-degree murder. That wasn't for her son to get into, and she brought him in there. That boy done threw his life away. He's in his early 20s. Don't let your damn parents go out there and start shit, and then you throw your freedom away, or your life. I told you guys and girls about the chicks up there in Arkansas that their mom booked them for a fight and they lost their life. But shout out to Memphis, Tennessee. Lamar Avenue and Shelby Drive. For all my Memphians, you know what I'm talking about. The intersection of Shelby Drive and Lamar Avenue used to have two pilot truck stops. I'll hear a lot about them all the time. So one night I decided, well, I'm not going to stay at the yard on Brooks Road. I'm going to stay at this particular pilot. And I go over there, and it's one with a spot way in the back in the corner. So I go in back in the spot. And this dude pulls up in his Cadillac, dark tinted windows. He knocks on the truck. I open the curtain and I asked him, what you want? What you selling? I don't want nothing. He said, hey, who told you you can park here? I looked at him. I closed the curtain back. You know, at the time I'm 23. You know, I'm full of testosterone, man. Fuck him. Fuck he talking about. Fuck him. He ain't gonna tell me where to park. Oh, what, man? What do you want? You can't park here, bro. I said, where your name painted at on here? He said, this is where I run my hoes at. He said, either you gonna buy a pussy or you can't park here. I told him, oh, I'm not doing that. He said, well, you gotta move. I told him, man, get out of my face. That dude popped that trunk open and took a little sawed-off pump out there and asked me what it's gonna be. You gonna stay here and buy a pussy? You gonna leave? Or they gonna have to come get your body? Which one you want? I said, yes, sir. Back to Brooks Road I went. You know what I'm saying? For those of you who know from Memphis, you guys know I know what I'm talking about. That was a wild intersection right there. Shelby Drive and Lamar Avenue. The old US 78. Lamar Avenue, the Host Road, where all the strip joints and all that shit at. You ride up and down Lamar Avenue. It's raggedy as I don't know what through there. And so yeah, that was just one of the wild stories that happened to me out here, you know. It could have got real quick. But I understood I wasn't Superman. You know, I would have been a super fool to stay there and argue with this guy. But I understand that's what he did. You know, he had his little business and what have you. And it ain't worth dying over. But it's extremely cold out. You got winter storms coming. If you don't need to be out on the road, don't get out on the road. If you're going to come out, make sure whatever you carry, you can operate it in the wintertime. Because you guys seen I did the test with my G2C with my real thick gloves on. I couldn't pull the trigger for whatever reason. And it might have just been me. I wanted to get out there. I might, if I get the time tomorrow and the roads is not too bad, if I stop at the house, I might go run out to the public hunting land and do a video of me shooting my Echelon in the real cold weather, because you guys know I done went ahead on and moved up to the Echelon as my EDC now. Just make sure whatever you have, it operates in adverse conditions wherever you live, because at the end of the day, crime don't take a day off. They might go into hibernation, but some of them stay out in the wintertime anyway, so you never know when it's going to happen. like I said, you know, as far as the jammers, you got to get legally armed and protect yourself, because these guys and girls then found a way to stop law enforcement from communicating with each other. That's putting you in danger if you depend on 911. What if when law enforcement show up, they can't communicate with each other? They don't know what, they need that line of communication. Like I said, they even got the thing where they make their key fobs stop working when they're on the scene of a crime. So just get out here and protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? I hate to see law-abiding citizens be victimized or lose their life. Having a firearm doesn't guarantee that nothing is going to happen, but it gives you a chance if something do happen. For the ladies, you guys and girls know I begs and pleads with the ladies to get legally armed and protect yourself out here. Do not leave your safety in the hands of somebody else. You don't want to depend on somebody else. You know what I mean? And your husband, your kids, your loved ones, your friends, it might be a situation where you being legally armed might save one of them. You and somebody can be driving in the car, you can be the passenger. You got a lot of road rage out here. You got a lot of people act the goddamn fool. You get out there and do whatever it is you need to do to survive the encounter and make it home. By the way, when you come in, hit the like button. We got 16 people. Shout out to all 16 of y'all that's been in. We got 15 likes. Now we got 18 people. Let's get the likes up. Share this channel. But if this channel is not for you, I understand that. Support your favorite gun tuber, because one thing about the gun tube genre is sometimes we be out in public and people approach us. Knock on wood, I haven't had none of these tough guys try and run up on me, but people approach us. Creating content is work outside of what a lot of us do. What's going on, Eric? Welcome, welcome. Like I say, you know, just, and when we say support, viewing the material, educating us. Sometimes we say things that's wrong. I got my ass chewed out because I said my AR-15 was metal, and the guy steel. And the guy broke it down in the comment section about I used the wrong verbiage. So I understand that. Yep, Dr. T, man. You know what? Let me go ahead and address something. Because this question got asked to me before. You guys and girls know I've always made this statement, and I'll always stick by it. The underworld keeps a lot of us safe when it's ran properly. You're never going to be able to get rid of the underworld. The reality is, it's not ran the way it should be. There was a time where innocent people, women and children, is permanent. Innocent people didn't get harmed. It's not like that anymore. I remember there was a time where guys wouldn't, you had to be a deviant in the criminal underworld to run up on women. Yeah, it is. Now it's normal. When I came up, the only people that actually attacked women was if they was in a domestic situation, or like if you had some kind of sick psycho killer running around. Now you got these little boys 12 and 13 years old hyped up on all these sexual stimulants, and they breaking in women's houses 80 and 90 years old and sexually violating these women. That was unheard of. Ladies, look. Oh yeah, I remember. I'll get to the DC sniper. Let me say this and then I'm gonna jump on that. I remember when I came up, smoking weed and drinking was the thing. I've never did it. You might even know a couple people that might snort a little bit of cocaine. Now these young boys and girls out here doing all these sexual stimulant, these drugs that sexually intensify you, they have an urge that they have to fulfill. They don't care that this woman is 80 years old, can barely walk. That drug is talking. That drug has these guys over erected, and they're gonna fulfill themselves. This is why you gotta be armed, ladies, because you never know. Especially if you live alone. You may think you mind your business and don't mess with nobody. Shit, y'all asses be under damn surveillance now. It used to be, when I was young, when women got up in the morning and walked to the bus stop or walked to their cars, the little dudes that be out drinking beers all day on the side of the store, whatever, made sure nothing happened to them. Even when the women would be telling them, I don't need you following me, and they would say, oh, I'm not following you to talk to you. I just want to make sure nothing won't happen to you. I remember that. I remember the older dudes making sure nothing happened to the women in the morning that went and got on the bus to go to work. It ain't like that anymore. That's why you got to be armed. Ladies, you got to learn to carry your firearm on your person. Shout out to my girl, Guns and Journey. Go up there and check out Guns and Journey. She does really good work. She don't always get to be on here out there in California, but go and check out Guns and Journey. Nevertheless, ladies, you got to get armed. Protect yourself. You'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Especially leaving your children behind. If you guys haven't seen the video I did about the children of criminals, you should go check that out. That's some real life stories. You guys know I've been up front. When I was 7 years old, my daddy got killed. I was 6 years old the first time I saw a murder. I was 10 years old the first time I lost a friend. That was 10 years old. So, I mean, this is why I preach, you got to protect yourself. Now, about the DC snipers. The DC snipers, the DC snipers case put the world on notice that you can't assume until a person get caught that this is a particular group of people doing something. Let me tell you what I mean. When the DC sniper, when everybody went into a frenzy that there's somebody running around sniping, this was supposed to be a middle-aged white guy that lost a good paying job or his wife divorced him, and he was lashing out at the country. When they marched them two Negroes out there, the whole country was like, what? They're black? Yeah, call it blue caprice. I saw that. This was a crime that white guys were known to be committing. And white guys were angry when they found out that the snipers were black, but we were in shock, but we wanted them to understand this is what happens when you assume something you don't know. You got a lot of unsolved killings and everybody assume, well, it's somebody black dead, somebody black killed them like they did in Detroit, and marched them people out there talking about we killing our own people and all this stuff, and they found that family in the basement and come to find out it was a white guy they killed. All I'm saying is that was some crazy shit of the DC sniper when we started learning how much he took that kid to the damn range to train, and how that kid was killing people with one shot. It was wild, man. It was wild. I remember that. The DC snipers, man. It was really, really wild. Hopefully we never go through another situation like that. And I touched on that because of how all this started. I'm not going to delve deep off into this because there's channels for this. The family court system is what drove John Muhammad. Hold on, let me turn this heat off. It's a little warm up here. He said it was the family court system, that drove him to do that. Nevertheless, that was wild. That people would go to the gas stations and what have you, and they would have curtains hanging up. It was just a sad thing, man, that all these innocent people lost their life, and I'm glad they executed that bastard. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something you may not know about John Allen Muhammad. He's from Baton Rouge. John Allen Muhammad watched an infamous incident happen in New Orleans that most people from New Orleans never even heard about because they don't talk about it. I didn't know about it until I was listening to this song, and it mentions top of the Howard Johnson building, just like Mark Essex, but it's not the civilians you assassinating the president. I said, what the fuck is he talking about? Top of the Howard Johnson building. But I never paid it no attention. And then, the internet and all this came along. And one day I just Googled the Howard Johnson building. And this thing about Mark Essex came up. John Allen Muhammad was watching the whole deal of Mark Essex taking on the New Orleans Police Department. I think they said he killed 10 in 2 days, and it was 19 shooting victims altogether. When I seen the report about it, by the time he made it to the Howard Johnson building, by the time they actually killed him, they had spent over 10,000 rounds trying to kill one guy. When they picked his body up, he had over 200 bullet holes. He was so strategically placed with his, I think it was a Mini 14. I want to say an M1 carbine and I think a 44 or 38 handgun. He almost shot the helicopter down that came up there to get him. He was a couple shots away from shooting that helicopter down. They had to use a helicopter to get to him because when he got into the hotel and he got up to the top floor, he was hiding in a concrete bunker up there, but they just couldn't find him. And he, as NOPD would come up the stairs, he would open fire on him. John Allen Muhammad was watching it. And I think that helped give him the idea of what he pulled off. Look, the DC snipers, man. Yeah, that was bad. But here again, like I said, having a firearm doesn't guarantee your safety, but it gives you an opportunity. You just never know. There used to be a time where we know this place or that place was a safe zone. Whoever thought about going in a church and getting shot in a church? Or being in a library and getting your head blown off? Whoever thought a quick trip to the grocery store could cost you your life? Excuse me. That's why we preach safety here. I know we have channels that do strictly shooting content. I just decided when I got this channel I wasn't gonna do that because there's more to owning a firearm. And I didn't want people to get a false sense of security with a firearm, because I've known people that bought guns and had them for 10 years and never fired one round. They just assume because it's new it's gonna work. But what if you can't control it? What if you don't like it? This is why when we tell you guys to train, look, The average firearm owner is not gonna go and take their gun and throw it in mud and throw it in water, and it's gotta run 2,000 or 3,000 rounds through it before you'll say that you. The average firearm owner is not gonna do that, because the average person don't have time to spend at the range like that. Okay. All right, man. Appreciate you coming over, man. Appreciate you coming over. But yeah, I mean, periodically go and train with your firearm. Knock you a couple rounds out of it. Make sure it works. Keep it clean. Be strategic with it. I want to give a word of encouragement to hot-headed people. I've heard people who's never been to prison that has a clean record say they can't have a gun because they're hot-headed. I'm going to tell you something about being a law-abiding firearm owner. It teaches you patience, and basically, it calms you down. Most people who get legally armed, it teaches them to just walk away. Now you know you got something on you. That an argument, you can put somebody, it teaches you, you know what, it ain't worth it. Yeah, man, the average person is just not. I mean, if a company sends you a firearm for you to do that, well, then I understand that. Maybe they tell you they want you to do all that because they're trying to get a military contract. I'm just saying the average firearm owner, don't look. You don't need a fucking $2,000 Geisley trigger. You don't need all that to protect yourself. You don't need a sub 2-second gun. That's for guys and girls that shoot competition and they have deals, sponsorships, and what have you, are sporting with firearms. This channel is more for people protecting themselves, the average everyday person. You ain't never gonna see me take none of my guns and throw them in the dirt and put mud in them and jam them and see if it still shoot. I'm not doing that with my damn guns. Fuck that shit. All I needed to perform is perform when I know what conditions I'm in. And that's it. The average person, you just not gonna be in all that. Yep, and armed society is a polite society. So we talk about the reset on the firearms and stuff like that because we think about guys and girls that's more into firearms besides just getting something to protect themselves. But when you pull that trigger, if it goes bang, that's all you need. You don't need a $2,000 gun to protect yourself. I got a thing of, as long as when I pull the trigger it goes bang, I'm fine. If I have a hang up, before I discard the gun, I want to know what I have a hang up from. Sometimes it's just the ammunition. Your gun doesn't like this particular ammunition. Sometimes it's just not clean. Sometimes it's the magazine. Like with my Kel-Tec PLR 16. I couldn't understand. I was shooting it one day, and it was like every time I fire a round, the mag will drop out. Now I would hold it, and I was like, fuck this shit. Well, I put the mag pull in there. Had no problems. It never came out. That's when I paid attention to the lip on the mag pull and the lip on the Min 2. So my 300 Blackout takes the Min 2 magazines with no problems. My Kel-Tec takes the mag pull with no problems. Now I could have been stupid and got rid of both of the fucking guns, and it wasn't the guns. It was just the magazines. I had to swap them and put them in the opposite gun. Stuff like that. Learn your firearm. When we say learn it, learn what kind of fire ammunition your gun like, and what do you feel comfortable shooting. Now, some people say, oh, you shouldn't carry full metal jackets. Anything to defend myself, goddamn it, I'm gonna carry. You may not like the way hollow points feel in your gun. Your gun may not run as good with hollow points, or with the metal casing, or the steel casing, or the aluminum casing. Your gun might run good with the brass. Yes, you guys see, I mainly run Winchester 115 grain out of my 9mm. I do have some 124 and 147, but I usually run 115. That's comfortable for me. I do have hollows and I have FMJs. It just depends on what I feel like carrying. So, but yeah, don't get caught up in the hype of, I gots to have a $1,500 gun as my carry gun every day, or something wrong. Because if you go to any gun tube channel, when the shit hit the fan, the majority of them, if they own a Glock 19 or a Glock 17, that's gonna be their first gun. And I'm talking about guys like the Honest Outlaw that got $7,000 and $8,000 guns. That ain't gonna be the first gun he grabbed. His EDC is a fucking M&P Shield. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna grab workhorses. For me, my little Canic SA, that's my workhorse. You guys know I done upgraded to the Echelon, so that's gonna be my workhorse. I'm not going up in there and grab no $2,000 gun talking about no shit hit the fan. Give me my workhorse. My workhorse gonna get the job done. I bought it for one thing only, to protect myself, not to look good. If I want a showpiece, well then I'll buy me a showpiece. My 1911s, I know they not no $2,000 and $3,000 guns, but they look nice to me. I carry those two. Usually, when I got some slacks and shoes on and a nice shirt, a nice jacket, I want to have me a nice little debonair piece, because I'm going into a pretty mid to upscale place. So I want me something very debonair, and I'll carry that. And if I feel like I need more, I'll just put me a little pocket rocket in my pocket, and that be that. But other than that, I bought the PK380. I bought it to get all scratched up and all that. It's my workhorse. Now I got the Echelon. I'm still in a little bougie mode with it right now because I haven't got the holster for it to start really carrying it, so I haven't really been carrying it. But it's gonna be the workhorse. If it get fucking scuffed up, I don't care. Long as when I pull the trigger, it go bang. That's what matters. And the fact that you can take my Echelon from me and I go get another one. That Llama Arms 38 Super that I got, that particular one, can't hardly find that now. So that's another thing about EDCs. Make sure you get something that if you gotta protect yourself and them folks take you, you can go get you another one. Most people don't carry their showpieces because of that. I ain't gonna carry a $3,000 damn custom-made Staccato on me every day. So when I bust somebody's damn head with it, if I have to, they take it, and then it disappears from the evidence room. Shit, I don't trust them and them damn cops in them damn evidence rooms. They take your damn shit and run over it, run off with it. But hit the like button as you come in, everybody. Share. I had somebody that really touched my heart, that you say you watch me every day. Me and my big mouth always talking. Big mouth. I'm just glad. I'm just glad that you take the time out to be here. You could be doing something else. You could be doing something more entertaining than listening to this big mouth guy talk about firearms all day long. So I definitely appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody that rocks with not only this channel, but that rocks with GunTube, period. Without the support of the community, we can't be GunTube. These channels wouldn't exist. We'd be just a bunch of loudmouth crazy people who sound insane talking about guns because people would be saying that we paranoid. I do like that social media has came along in the sense of we control a narrative about firearms now. For those of you who wasn't born before the internet, you don't understand. Mainstream media created a lot of division in this country because they didn't tell the truth about a lot of stuff. and it made a lot of people from all different groups prejudiced about things. We control a narrative now when it comes to the Second Amendment. It's not a dirty thing to practice your Second Amendment rights now. It's not a cowardly thing for a man to go out and get him a firearm or a couple firearms and teach his children and get out there and protect his family. It's not a bad thing now. Because that used to be really nasty. Why would he get a gun? What you need a gun for? A real man wouldn't get a gun. And then when the goddamn criminals break up in there talking about freeze, you standing there like this. What you want? Nah. Get out there. Get your firearm. Look. The underworld have their advocates. I'm an advocate for law-abiding citizens. Get your firearm. Get your permit. And the only reason I say get a permit is if you cross state lines, you want to make sure you cover. This is one of the downsides to state rights. But get your proper paperwork, your driver's license, your insurance, your registration and all that. Keep that stuff up to date. When you out here, protect yourself. Anytime you run into law enforcement, use this firearm before you use this one. Because this one will get you out of trouble. Understand when law enforcement stops you and you legally armed, you are behind enemy lines. You do not get into a war of words with them on the side of the road. Let it be what it's going to be, and then go on about your business. You don't want to wind up like the guy in Jacksonville, did everything he was told to do, and he still got shot in his leg. So, that's just all we encourage you, to protect yourself. To the underworld, shout out to those of y'all who really follow the street code and know that people who ain't got nothing to do with nothing, you leave them alone. You don't fuck with innocent people. Shout out to y'all. I can't constantly run the underworld into the ground because I understand something. Some of the places I go, the underworld keep me alive. I might not see them, but they help keep me alive because they keeping the peace. But we, the law-abiding citizens, gotta understand the times have evolved. The criminals ain't keeping the peace with the law-abiding citizens anymore. So guess what? When they run up on you, you let them be carried by 6 and you be judged by 12 and not the opposite way. Because you never know. You might get one of these runaway juries that might let your killer walk. Ain't nothing you can do about it. So, like I said, don't let nobody book you for a fight or bring you to an early grave, get you up out of your bed. Your brother, your cousin, your mama, your daddy, your grandma, your friends that you know, all of them can't shut the fuck up and all they do is go around antagonizing people. Fellas, especially my young men, I know you might not like that somebody said something smart to your mama, but think about this. What the fuck smart did your mama say to him for him to say something back? Don't let her bring you out there on that mission. I grew up with a couple guys like that, and we got into a lot of shit, and I had to back them up because of their big mouth mama that would be out there antagonizing people. Your wife, your husband, don't let people bring you out there to throw your life away. Because nowadays, guys ain't fighting, girls ain't fighting no more, they shooting. It ain't worth getting shot over. Shout out to T-Electric, Gun Freak Nation, Yoke Stirrup, She Shoots, Summer Shoots, GHG Hustle, The Honest Outlaw, Mrs. Outlaw, Hickok 45, this other guy, shit, I can't remember, Patrick E. Kelly, let me see, regular gun guy, fat guy with guns, 2A in LA, NOLA _ tactical, and Autumn's Armory, like I say, Eyes and Ears Tactical, the 2A podcast, man. Just shout out to everybody. Yep, treat that on like your phone, carry it everywhere. Just shout out to everybody that does this, man, and everybody that genuinely supports this channel or another channel. Shout out to y'all. Y'all can be doing other things. You got TikTok, you got the YouTube, you got all kinds of things you can be doing, but y'all choose to get on YouTube and rock with the Second Amendment community with GunTube, and we definitely love all y'all. We cherish y'all. Like I said, just shout out to everybody, man, that just be rocking with us, you know. The jammers, understand your first line of defense is you. It's not law enforcement's job. They're responders. On Law and Order, they always show up after the person got killed, not before they get killed. Then they got to investigate. The crime responders, not fighters. We all saw what happened in Uvalde. When it was time for them to be crime fighters, they cowered it. They were dressed like Call of Duty warriors, and they cowered it down, let a bunch of children be taken off the planet. In Texas. So just remember that. Anytime you think about that crazy loudmouth guy on YouTube that called himself in the TheAlertZoneTV, that loudmouth guy said I should protect myself. Should I? That's what law enforcement for. Anytime that little conscience tap you on the shoulder, look to your other shoulder and your other conscience tell you, yeah, just remember Uvalde. All the children that died because the Call of Duty warriors was afraid to face somebody that was willing to fight with them. You be your first and last line of defense. When law enforcement get involved, the only thing you want them to do is just rope off with the yellow tape, get the white sheet out, wait on the coroner to come and pronounce this criminal or criminals deceased, give your statement, and go about your business. You don't want to be in the one in the emergency room, in intensive care, or in critical condition fighting for your life, or you don't want your family to have to come and identify you at the morgue or on that ground under that sheet. I've seen it. I've seen it. You don't want to be that. Am I telling you a firearm is 100% foolproof? No, it's not. All I'm saying is give yourself a chance. You never know. Appreciate everybody. We got 19 likes. I think we had 19 people at one time, so everybody did hit the like button. This was an impromptu live. As I told you guys and girls, I'm still trying to get familiar with StreamYard because I'm going to bring and start doing interviews on the channel to other gun tubers, big and small, if they'll just come and join me. I will tell you, the president of Gun Freak Nation going to be on here. We're going to have Eyes and Ears Tactical. Those two guys have already given me a yes, that as soon as I get this figured out, they will come on. So you guys, as I said, start going to the community tab where we'll be posting that kind of stuff. If you like what you hear here, share it. If you're riding in your car, you at work, or you get bored, press play. Just listen to some of the videos that we do here. I think we do pretty good work. We've enlightened a lot of people, even though they may not like what we talk about. We've gotten the conversation started because you know what? At the end of the day, it's still about everybody's safety. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think about at the end of the day. I want it to be safe where I can go somewhere and not have to worry about getting shot because I'm out grocery shopping. Or I want a new pair of tennis shoes. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. We got the president of Gun Freak Nation in the house. Shout out to you. Once I get this StreamYard figured out, I am definitely going to bring you on here. Since he came in, I'm going to tell this story again probably for the 1,000th time, damn it, but I'm going to tell it. The first time I ever went to Detroit, I've never seen that much of bulletproof glass in my life. Every store I went to was bulletproof. Off Schaefer Road, I went to Coney Island over there. First, I went to the McDonald's. I didn't want to eat there because I walked in the restaurant and they give you your food through a bulletproof window. They stick it in there and turn it around to you. I say, I ain't eating that fucking shit. I don't let nobody give me no food like that. I carried my happy ass next door to Coney Island, and it was the same shit. I ordered me a hot dog, and it was this guy just hanging around in there. So I ordered me an Everfresh in the bottle. Everybody that know me know I eat very slow. I said, I'm gonna eat this fucking hot dog. I'm gonna walk back to this truck. Well, as I'm looking at this guy, something about him just don't jive with me. Yep, this is in a D. I'm old school New Orleans. Back when sodas used to come in glass bottles and not plastic. When people would be walking the street and there's a couple guys or girls wanted to jump them, they would go grab a bottle. You take the bottom of it. You peel the paper off. You peel the wrap off. You take the bottom. This the curve. You bust the bottom out right here. You grab it by the neck. Now you got a knife. You about to cut you about 10 motherfuckers now. You got a good glass bottle. That was a knife, a makeshift knife for all y'all young people out there. I'm not sure about these fucking plane crashes. So I gulped this Everfresh down. I said, this motherfucker ain't gonna, this motherfucker ain't gonna do me shit. I ain't got no gun. I'm in fucking Detroit. My teammate then left me. He then went by his family. So I come out the store and he's following behind me. Okay. I go to the curb, take the paper off the Everfresh, and you know the Everfresh bottles got the long neck on it, so you get a good grip. I bust that bottle, had them sharp ridges around there. He knew what time it was then. He kind of backed up. I start walking. I walk about 10 steps and kind of look at my peripheral, and he was going. I was like, yeah. I was going to stick this motherfucker and I was going to take off running. God damn it. But everywhere we went in Detroit was, I never seen that much of bulletproof glass in my life. It's like LA. I've never seen that many burglar bars in a neighborhood in my life till I went to LA. In the fucking project, everywhere, they got fucking iron doors and iron bars on the window. I said, motherfucker, where am I? And here I'm thinking I'm badass coming out New Orleans. So, shout out to the president of Gun Freak Nation. Definitely. With that being said, I'm going to let everybody get out of here. If you catch this on the replay, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell so you can be notified when we drop fruitful and very, very nurturing content. I told you guys I'm the cauliflower and Brussels sprouts of GunTube. You might not be excited to have me, but you need me because I'm good for the body. Most people don't get excited about eating Brussels sprouts and cauliflower, but they eat it because it's good for the body and it gives them longevity. Well, that's what I am in GunTube. You might not always be excited to see me. You might not always even like the content, but after you listen to it, you think about it. I needed that. It's good for the body. Share, comment, and for the mainly, practice your Second Amendment rights. It is not illegal under the Constitution. Protect you and your family. Until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay armed, stay on high alert. We out.